Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab. Well, I do what I do for you. Oh, I got something nice for you today. Let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. The message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. I got you. Let's go. Right thinkers mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission, and that's what I'm on every day, you know the deal, is to get all right thinkers to know thyself with information and knowledge that would do just that, help you to know thyself. So let's go. And I ask the question every day, do you know you? The question is there, but the answer is rhetorical. If you don't have it for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. Why? That's what I do for you, to help you to know you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know, dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself. And to my eye, be true. Put the book down for a minute. I got a few personal lessons I want to get out, and this is another one. But right thinkers, this is entitled, Let's Talk About What Do Know Thyself Really Mean. Some of y'all who just tuned in might not know that, but that's my mantra. That's my philosophical point of view. I'll break it down for you the best I can, so you hopefully you have a better understanding of why know thyself is so important to us as a race of people, aka human beings. More importantly, right thinkers. All right, so let's go. Know thyself is the most important thing you can do as a human being. Reach the level of knowledge of self is the goal for all human beings, whether they find that out during this cycle or life or the future, but they won't get back to the maker until they find that out. So the spirit is here, recycling, reincarnating until what? The person that they get into gets it right, become conscious, and takes it back home. That's the concept of my right thinking philosophy. Got it from Shita Netta, Samatawi, our ancient Egyptian philosophy. So I didn't make it up. Okay, understand that. So this is of the dome. This is my philosophical point of view about what it is I do for you. Now, if you don't know or wasn't taught who you are ignorant of your true self. We're born ignorant. We come into this physical form ignorant, but we have the gift of consciousness that we can become what? Conscious of ourselves to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Everything I do is geared for you, the individual, to what? Know who you are, know thyself. I'm excited about that. I will teach you my philosophical life philosophy that I have mastered over the last 35 years of practicing. I went in search of what? The truth when over 35 years ago. But guess what? I found it. And I've been practicing and learning it for the last 35 years. Now that I got what I need, I can come and give it to those who want it and need it also. That's how what I do is for you to know thyself. I learned the spiritual truth, aka ancient ancestors' knowledge. And the more importantly, I lived and I mastered them. I became an Egyptian over 30 years ago within myself, my mindset, my concepts. Why? I want to know how could a race of people live for thousands of years in harmony amongst themselves. My philosophy. Moving on. Right thinkers, we are spiritual beings having a human experience again. But we're here and don't know who we are. So the goal is to know thyself, not get rich and famous, not become the GOAT, whatever thing. No, to know thyself. That's why when this life is over, you can go home. If you here for any other reason, you're gonna be here for a while. Moving on. That's the concept. Now, if you claim to be or if you claim to be or plan on being a right thinker, you have to know my rules. Yeah, I have rules. Everybody have rules. So I'm no different. But we call them, what's this? I call them, I have what they call moral and ethical rules, aka my yacht philosophy, 42 confessions in my yacht. My way of life. I live by the concept of doing what I think is best for me. When you, when you can master the understanding of doing what you think is best for you, again, self mastery. But you have to put the work in. It ain't easy. Man. But understanding when you want to know thyself, it's some things that you can do to make that possible. I'm trying to help you do just that. That's all I got for you. Moving on. I don't profess nothing else except giving you knowledge you can obtain and learn to be your best self. That's what I do. Where we at? Now, you have to know, again, right thinkers, we are spiritual beings, aka God and goddesses, what? In the flesh. I watched the little thing with my man Gino Jennings, and the guy asked him, who was Jesus? Was he God? He was God in the flesh, blah, blah, blah. That same rhetoric, we all know the deal. So why you keep trying to force that concept that really don't work on anybody who followed that concept? So that's what y'all do. I understand, no problem with that. But the question I keep asking, when there is falsehood in the concept, I'm gonna abandon the concept. That's all I'm saying. So moving on. You can't make one person in the flesh God and the rest of us chopped liver. We are all God and goddesses in the flesh. We just have to realize that. And if you got a faith that dealing you the wrong way, you're never gonna realize that. So moving on. I've got an issue with that, but I ain't gonna mess with that right now. Where we at? Okay, yeah. Now, I am an enlightened being living by my spiritual disciplines when daily. How long? Years. That's how you get to be a master of oneself. That's how you know thyself with practice and living what you're learning. That's how it's done. Spiritual beings, watch this, know themselves. Why? Because they study and obtain spiritual knowledge, but they also living righteous and virtuous. So they will be rewarded for those actions. If you don't do those things, you will be punished. Why? If I got to give you reward for doing good, I have to punish you for doing bad. That's back to the balance. Where there is no two things going on, you can't have balance with one thing on the scale. Moving on. Know thyself. Well, what do it mean? It means, again, having 100% total control over oneself, aka self mastery. That means you're going to handle yourself in a proper manner no matter what the situation. You're not going to freak out. I got my pastor. I've been on this guy for over 40 years. I've yet to see him lose his cool. I've yet to see him go off or freak out, whatever you want to call it. I know that for a fact. I see. I'm got to guessing. I've never seen his brother lose it, and I've seen him in a situation where I've lost it. I told him, I said, "You're a better man than me, dude." But yeah, when you have control over oneself, you don't have to be a professed right thinker. But if you have that control, I got nothing but respect for you. And whatever you profess to be, I'm going to respect you for that, even if it ain't my thing. Again, when somebody's doing something that's right and correct, just respect them. That's all you got to do. You got to contradict it, counter it, or prove them wrong. Nope. Just understand. That's all. I have no problem with nobody's religious beliefs. Personally, understand that. Oh, yeah. What do thyself? Okay, what do know thyself means? It means that I am the master, right? Thinking personally. Yeah, and I have to what? Show first By what? I teach. By what? Living it. If I'm professing something and I'm not living it, don't listen to me. Anywhere I go, if what they say don't match what they do, I'm not going to listen to you. Why? Because it ain't matching. There's a problem. What your words say, your actions should prove out. If that ain't going, don't deal with them. Simple as that. Moving on. Even me. Okay? So I got to live up to a standard that I set for myself personally. I hold myself, perfect segue, what? To a higher standard of what? Right thinking, more important, right living. When? Daily. I do this every day. If you was around me, you say, man, this guy don't stop. No, I don't. I don't turn it off. I don't. No. It's how I live. Understand that. And it's a good lifestyle. Personally, for me, other people might not. If they're in compliance or they like what I'm doing, it's fine. But when it goes against what they believe, okay, that don't mean nothing to me. Moving on. Again, knowing thyself means you're doing you. And if it's doing right, what somebody else think or feel, don't really make a difference. I ask everybody, when you're doing your thing, you care what people think? Nope. So I feel the same way. I'm doing my thing. Moving on. Self-control. That's a big issue for a lot of people. And if you're egotistical, you have none. You have no real self-control. Why? You don't know thyself. So you pretty much will do anything under circumstances. Everybody got a price. Yeah, I ain't for sure. How much? Oh, how much? What'd you say? See, I don't sell knowledge. I give the knowledge away. I tell you, the knowledge is free. The merchandise helps me. So if you want to help me, purchase the merchandise. Other than that, I'll be here every day doing what I do for you. Trust me. I like it because it's what I do. Moving on. Self-control comes from what? Years of daily practice of what? Righteous and virtuous living. Just that simple. It ain't hard. It ain't brain surgery. You ain't got to be, nope, just do the right things when you have to. Do the right thing for the right reason. That's living right. That's all. Treat people right. Do right by people. That's all you got to do. But when you one of them people who pride and predator using people for your selfish gains, you'll get yours in the end. Moving on. It's not my job to expose you. But with self-discipline, what happens? You can fall, with self-discipline, you can't fall for what? Addictions. We got people who smoke. I'm gonna start smoking. You got people who eat too much. I'm gonna stop eating, but they're not doing it. They're talking about it, but they're not doing it. Okay? Self-discipline is putting it into action. That don't mean you any good. If you can't stop doing something that's not good for you, that's not good, period. So understand that. Whatever it is, food, drugs, women, if it's not working for you, you should be able to let it go. With knowledge of self-discipline, you won't have that problem. But if you're egotistical and ignorant of yourself, that's your biggest problem. Letting go of stuff that ain't good for you. You know what I'm talking about? Moving on. Now, knowing thyself is having self-knowledge, spiritual knowledge, using self-pride, and also having self-respect. All these things you do for yourself, hence self. When you elevate yourself to be your best self, it's things you're going to do to make that happen. That's your decision to make. Right, thinkers? With lack of self-knowledge, here you go. We're just human beings, okay? With spiritual knowledge, you're a spiritual being, having a human experience, you know thyself, you know what's going on, you woke up and became conscious. So you living a righteous and virtuous life, knowing who you are and what you're doing and where you're going in the end. A lot of us don't know where we're going when we die. Oh, I'm going to heaven. Says who? Where's heaven? What's heaven about? Don't have a clue. So not knowing yourself, being ignorant of who you are, you just come out your face all haphazardly, willy-nilly, what somebody else said. You don't have a clue about yourself. Tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. So, with lack of self-knowledge, watch this. We're spiritual beings having human experience. But we forget who we are, so we just think we're human beings. The ego keeps you human. Watch this. Remember, ego is edging God out. So when you are egotistical, God is not in the mix. Spiritual beings are not ego. Why? They listen to their higher self. They have a connection with Haru that's in you, your higher self. We get caught up with Set, our lower self. That's the ego self. I've been trying to teach you that for the longest. It's not going to change. Why? A lot of us women, y'all have egos too. It's not a man thing. It's a psychological thing. When you want what you want, when you're selfish, sneaky, and deceitful, that's the ego self. Women got the same traits. Okay, moving on. Where I'm at. Human beings are, listen, they say this is a sinful world. Why? Because human beings is running it. Human beings are sinful people. They're errors. They aren't perfect beings. Why? Because they think they're human. Humans have errors. We have faults. Why? I'll break it down for you. Human beings are sinful beings due to their ignorance of their spiritual self. Again, that's my point. Human beings live by the five senses. That's why you need to smell it, see it, hear it, touch it, and taste it to deal with it in the physical form. Spiritual, you don't need none of those things. You just got to be conscious and understand it's bigger than this body, the astral body. That's the psychological aspect, part of our nervous system. And you deal with the five senses of the body. And five senses is human. Physical is prone to errors. It can be faked out. It can be duped. Oh, yeah. Human beings are like caterpillars. I like this analogy. My dad died a caterpillar. Why? He never transformed. He never became his best self. He stayed his ego self. He lived his whole life on the ego level. And that's why he never changed. That's why he died. That's why his conscience is wiped. That's why his spirit is probably in somebody else's body. Why? Because it didn't go home. No. Understand that conceptually. If and when you become conscious and knowing thyself in the physical form, you are conscious of it. So when the body expires, the consciousness is still there. Why? Because you came connection with the heart, mind coherence. You became knowledge of self. You reached the nihas. You became Christ-like, Horus Hood, whatever you want to call it. But that's what you want to do in this physical form. That's our mission here as human beings, to find out who we really are. Gods and goddesses. See? Wrapping it up. Here we go. Human beings, again, if you stay ignorant, you will stay a caterpillar. You come enlightened, you become a beautiful, different person, a butterfly. And every one of them are unique. If it's 9 billion people, we're going to have 9 billion butterflies, and ain't no two the same. That's the beautiful thing. That's God. Okay. That's the power that we have from within us, that was given to us. We have no idea of what we can do, who we are. Know thyself, change all of that. Trust me. I am a human being. What? With knowledge of what? Self. Know thyself. Now I'm a spiritual being, ready for what? My next life. When this is over, I'm not scared of this. Why? I know it's something else. Again, when you have knowledge and understanding, logic and reasoning, you can justify your actions and your reason for whatever it is you're doing. If you just following something for the sake of it sound good, that's what everybody else is doing, you're really not learning anything. I can sit here and tell you a whole bunch of how good God is and how blessed I am. That ain't gonna help you. But if I teach you how to do those things for yourself, you know God for yourself. That's my mission. That's my goal. That's right thing of philosophy. Moving out. Let me take this out. I'm taking it home. Last one. Again, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. Human beings, again, are what? Physical. Spiritual beings are mental, right thinkers. We want to be mental beings. That's becoming spiritually disciplined by obtaining spiritual knowledge. With self-knowledge, you will what? You will know who? Thy. I try to explain to you. Thy is him. Thyself, not the self, or no, thy means God. Know God self. Know you're godly. Who you are. That's the goal. Watch this. The play on words. Where we at? Okay, now, with self-knowledge, you know thyself, which is God. The true self in all human beings. Not just Jesus. I teach self and spiritual knowledge. It's for you to learn and what? Then manifest by living it, proving it for yourself. Not what he said, not what my man said. He talked a good game, but no, You play your own game. How your game is played. I'm playing mine. I'm doing mine. You can do yours the same way. I'm just trying to help you out. That's what I do for you. Know thyself is the mantra. Is the sole purpose of all right thinkers to what? Know thyself and know that you are what? God. If you're female, you're goddess in the flesh. Come here to do just that. Learn thyself. Get the understanding who you are. Live a fruitful, righteous life and move on. If not, you're going to be here over and over and over. Like the Ouroboros chasing his tail. He just keep eating himself, just keep reincarnating, just keep going over. You want to be the infinity, in and out, reciprocity. You give, you receive. You give, you receive. A lot of people want to receive before they give. It don't work that way. It's unnatural. Like the gender thing y'all doing. 2 men, unnatural. 2 women, just unnatural. So no matter how you cut that pie, if it ain't male, female, it's unnatural. Moving on. And anything that's unnatural don't survive. It won't last. Nature regenerates itself by doing what it does. Moving on. We know not, watch this. We know not, not knowing thyself is the death of yourself. Why? You're going to consciously die when you don't know who you are. Your death is imminent for you. You're going to die twice. You're going to die physically and you're going to die consciously. So that's why knowing thyself will save you from the second death. The physical death is imminent for all, but the second death can be avoided if you learn thyself. Okay? Gain knowledge and understanding. Wrapping it up. To know we are immortal, meaning spiritual beings, is to know thyself. That's what you want to find out. It's a beautiful thing. Immortality. Why? Because you know when this is over, this is over. When you take this uniform off, you got another one. Okay? That's the one that's going to take you to the next level. Moving on, wrapping it up again. I hope you get to understand. I'm just trying to get you the concept of the purpose and really what know thyself means. Watch this. My human body, I keep telling you, will die. All of ours will. That's part of being human. Humans don't live forever. Okay, they have an expiration date. They're born to die. The spirit was never born, so it can't die. It just reincarnates. And if it get enlightened, it get connection with the spirit that's in the body, it goes home. You make the conscious heart, mind coherence, that takes you home. That's the package. Moving on. My human body will die. But guess what? Knowing thyself, I can't die. Hello, that's the king. That's the concept of knowing thyself. When you reach that level, you become a right thinker. Hope you enjoyed the lesson and imparting right thinkers. May you all live to be 100 and me 100 minus a day. So I never know the right thinker like you passed away. And if we all woke, I see you up there. Peace.